Wouldn't it be great if you could choose what you were dreaming about every night? Well, that's one of the reasons that people get into lucid dreaming, but you don't actually have to have a lucid dream to choose your dreams. There is an area of practice known as dream incubation in which you try to exert some control over the subjects and content of your dreams. Now, I've lost the comment in question, but one of my viewers left a comment the other day asking if I could do an updated video on this, since I made one a while back, but that was a long time ago. So today I'm going to try and give a thorough and comprehensive video on dream incubation. Now, I do have to warn that this is a very in-depth subject. There are so many different ways that you can dream incubate. So even though this video is going to be pretty comprehensive, I'm not going to cover absolutely everything, but I'm going to try and break down several different techniques that you can use for this. And by the way, dream incubation is one of the subjects that I cover, alongside many others, in my book, The Lucid Dream Book. So if you want to know more about that, either check out the link in the top right hand corner or stay tuned till the end of the video when I'll talk a bit more about it. So why don't we get right into some techniques that you can use to choose what you dream about. Technique number one, I'm just going to call the intention technique, because it is very similar to the intention technique for lucid dreaming. All you have to do is intend to dream about a particular subject. Before you go to bed, think about what you want to dream about and say, I am going to dream about this. You can say this out loud or you can say this in your head. Just decide that you want to dream about this particular thing. Similar to the intention technique for lucid dreaming, this isn't the technique that's going to bring you the highest amount of success. But since it takes almost no effort whatsoever to perform, it's an easy one to get started with or to fit into a busy schedule. Another variation of this that I personally find a little bit more effective is the subconscious request. So rather than just intending to dream about something, actually petition your subconscious for a dream about that thing. Literally say to yourself in your head, hey subconscious, I would like to dream about a tropical island. Can you help me with that? It sounds silly, but making this actual request sort of gets your conscious part of your brain out of the way, because you're just handing over that request to the subconscious so it can do the work for you. So I find it works a little bit more effective than just using your intention alone. When making this subconscious request, something that I've liked to do in the past is actually write out the dream that I would like to have and write out the little request. And what you can even do is you can put it under your pillow, just as sort of gesture, because your subconscious likes weird symbolism. So give it a bit of symbolism. Say you're putting it under your pillow to hand over to your subconscious, and your subconscious will like that and may in fact respond with giving you the dream that you asked for. The next technique is what I'm going to refer to as the flooding technique. I'm sure at some point in your life you've stayed up watching scary movies and you went to bed that night and you ended up having a bunch of nightmares related to things that you were watching. It's one of the reasons why we're sometimes a bit afraid to go to sleep after a scary movie. It's not so much that we think something is going to jump us in the night or sneak into our house or whatever. Sometimes we just have that feeling, I'm going to have some bad dreams tonight. And this is where this technique comes from. If you consume content related to something, you're more likely to dream about that particular thing. So if you want to dream about a particular location, go there on Google Maps or look at images of that place if it's a fictional place. If it's a place from a book, maybe read descriptions of it from that book, or read descriptions written of it by other people, by fans of the work. If you want to dream about a particular person, maybe listen to them speak or watch some videos of them, or pull up their picture and think about where you might actually meet them. Or if you want to be doing a particular activity, then watch videos about that activity or read about it, or just try to think about it in great detail. Essentially, you want to flood your brain with as much content related to the people, place, and activities that you want to engage in your dream, as well as any themes that you would like the dream to contain. You can also combine this with the other techniques for greater results. The next technique I'm going to refer to as the scripting technique. Essentially, you want to write out in detail what you'd like to have in your dream, similar to the thing that I suggested for the subconscious request. But rather than just making a simple request, I want you to be really detailed. Use evocative language to describe the things that you want to encounter in your dream. You want to describe it in such a way that when you read those words, you start forming images in your mind, assuming that you don't have aphantasia. You want to be reading that and having vivid pictures coming to mind of what that dream is actually going to look like. And we're going to use that to our advantage, because after that, what you're going to do is you're going to read that script to yourself, and then you're going to sit down, close your eyes, maybe meditate for a few minutes first to get comfortable if you want. And then you're going to visualize that dream from start to finish, how it would look like, where you would be, who you would be with, what you would be doing, what it would feel like in that dream. And you can combine that with something like the intention technique or the subconscious request technique for better results. You can also use that script that you wrote as part of this next technique. So the next technique is the audio tape technique. Essentially what you're going to do is you're going to record a script of yourself talking about the dream that you would like to have, and you're going to listen to this script while you sleep. You can do this in a manner of ways. If you don't have trouble falling asleep with some audio playing, you can just record a short script and have it on repeat. If you do find it hard to fall asleep with such a thing playing, then what you can do is make yourself a long audio tape that just has the bit that you want to speak in the middle in one of your REM periods. So, for example, after 90 minutes of silence, suddenly you start describing the ideal dream that you would like to have. And just like in the last technique, I highly suggest you use evocative language here. Use language that is going to conjure up mental images, that is going to get you feeling things, that is going to get you excited and inspired to have this particular dream. And go into lots of detail with your descriptions. Go over the top with this. You're not a story writer trying to write a good story. You're trying to make this description sound as vivid as possible so that it really gets through to your subconscious. You know, if you're writing a story, you don't want to go into like tons of detail about the texture of the walls. That might be a bit overkill. But when you're doing this technique, you actually do want to do that sort of thing. Go into detail about like every little thing and how it looks and how it feels and what it smells like and what the air is like and what sounds you're hearing around you and everything. Go into as much detail as possible because some of this detail is likely to bleed over into your dream, making it more likely for you to dream about what you wanted to dream about. The next technique that I'm going to suggest you use is actually Wild itself. So Wild, or the wake-induced lucid dreaming technique, allows you to enter a dream from the waking state. But something that not everyone realizes is that you can control that process somewhat. So when you're normally performing Wild, a lot of the time you're doing it passively. You're sort of watching what happens behind your closed eyes, and as objects start to form into scenes, you're essentially allowing yourself to be taken in by those scenes and appear in a dream. But what you can do during this process is, instead of just passively observing what you're seeing behind your closed eyes, you can try to actually force imagery. You can try to imagine a particular scene that you would like to be and really think about what it would look like. And then when you start seeing shapes and colours behind your closed eyes, you can start to imagine that those are particular things from that scene that you're imagining. So if you see an outline that looks like a person, think about it being one of the people that you would expect to be in your dream scene of choice. If you see an outline that looks square and you're imagining being in a kitchen, then you can start to think that's a kitchen countertop. And you could start to imagine that you could smell the cooking that's going on there. Essentially perform Wild as outlined in my video on Wild, but during the process take an active role in controlling the imagery that you're experiencing. And what you can do is bring about a dream scene this way and enter the dream of your choice. Now the advantage of performing Wild here is that with Wild you're likely to have a lucid dream. So not only will you get to dream about what you want, but you'll also be able to control that dream and do the things that you want. But of course this technique is less suitable if that's not your goal, if you don't want to actually be in control in that dream and you just want to have a normal dream, but about a subject of your choosing. So these are just a few of the many ways that you can perform dream incubation. As you get more and more proficient with lucid dreaming, you'll find it's actually easier to perform dream incubation as well, because you have a better connection with your dreams in general. So learning to lucid dream can be a great technique if you're just interested purely in dream incubation anyway. And if you're interested in learning to lucid dream, then alongside the videos on my channel, I highly recommend looking at my book, The Lucid Dream Book. It's a comprehensive and structured approach to lucid dreaming that teaches you everything from the absolute basics that every beginner needs to know to much more advanced techniques like creating your own dream worlds. You can find a link to it in the description down below. Anyway, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want more videos like this one, make sure you subscribe and enable all notifications so you can stay up to date when new videos come out. And if you want to keep watching, check out one of the videos on screen, go watch that, and I'll see you there soon. Take care and have some awesome lucid dreams.